adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
And we're live. We're back, episode 26, No Snooze Podcast. We are getting dangerous close to the babies arriving.
That's right.
I don't know if it's the same with you, and I know we'll get into it, but I'm more and more frantic as far as getting things done around the house.
Yes. Well, you're put under pressure because the time is just now ticking, which is good. We like that. But I also like to be very prepared, so I like doing things in advance. But then there's certain things that you just can't. So now that the timeline is so crunched, you're just like, all right, I got no choice. So I like both.
And I'm trying to channel your energy by wearing the Dave outfit.
Listen.
Suit pants, polo shirt,
Yep.
nice loafers. With I don't know if I can do the burnt orange yet, but
I think
there.
I think a good loaf is mandatory these days.
So those are called driving shoes. Did you know
These
that?
are drivers.
Excuse me.
Drivers.
Drivers.
Yes. But it's a loafer style shoe. I happen to go no socks, but I do the baby powder on the feet. Just
The
keep it nice.
beard is distractingly long already.
Really?
That was like, right? I feel, we have to clip in the portion of the reference that I made to that movie, because it's right on.
It's
been what, two weeks
now.
since that one?
Yeah, but but it's still short.
I don't know. Mine was like not that length,
Yep.
but it just doesn't fill.
It doesn't grow like that?
It doesn't fill in. It looks terrible. Episode 24, I enjoyed it, but I didn't even watch it because I hated the look.
Well, that's how I felt when I first shaved my beard. So imagine looking in the mirror for 3 days straight and being like, I hate my face.
And this isn't critical of you, but your resting face has the lips puckered. Did you ever notice that?
No.
You do this when you're thinking.
Do you have that on Zoom?
You think you're like. You didn't notice that?
No, I don't know. I got you say luscious lips, so I don't know.
Hey, listen, you're hiding them
small.
again, though.
I don't know. Yeah, I hide them. So one, I love the outfit, but I must say, and this is no smoke up to you, but I mean,
the socks?
No, you just look great.
Thank you.
I'm serious.
That, yeah.
Like you got a nice tight shirt on. Your sleeves look nice and tight. The
logo.
Yeah.
So this whole idea was that I needed some golf shirts, and golf shirts perfect for the summer when you're casual, but you want to be a little dressed up.
And then when you tuck it in, it looks even better.
And then I added the real estate logo, and I left another sleeve open, obviously, so the No Snooze logo on the left.
No Snooze on the left.
It's like I'm a sponsored golfer.
I like it.
Which will get you guys a couple outfits. Speaking of, the T-shirts are a little behind.
Yes.
We don't have our T-shirts yet,
It's
our
all
new
right.
ones, but
they understand there's a global pandemic right now. No, but what you said before made sense. So the way that this company is working is, say you order and your order gets fulfilled by North Carolina, but North Carolina is closed due to the coronavirus and this potential new spike. That order facility shuts down. So people understand that. But we'll make it right.
And there's a couple people out there who've gotten hoodies.
Yeah.
So
yes.
If you have received any of your stuff, let us know.
Yeah.
If you haven't, hold on tight.
Yep.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Ooh, I like that. A little early mantra.
I don't know if that works with that.
I don't know. Give
when
me
in Rome.
So visually you look great. What's going on?
Visually.
Podbot update.
Podbot update. How about you go first this week? Because it's all about me and my push-ups and just.
Yeah.
And I've seen you put up 1,500 a day.
Yeah.
Did you do push-ups today?
Today I did 1,500.
Okay.
But
I assume you did.
I took yesterday off. That's why I've been doing.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been taking a day and then doing 1,500 to make sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like this week I was looking at you. You were at 6,000, so I'm at 6,000 too. So.
Not bad.
It's fine. I mean.
And you're almost at 100,000.
Almost
so
at
in my
100,000.
head, this is what I thought. I said, he's doing 1,500 a day. So I said, what would Dave think, and why is he doing that? Okay, so he has a week left before it gets super serious with baby stuff. So he's like, all right, well, I said I was gonna get to 100,000, so let me knock that out. How much do I have left? Work backwards, 1,500 a day.
Bang, bang.
Am I right?
Yes, you're spot on. Spot on.
I'm in there.
You're in there, kid. So something weird has been happening to me, and I was explaining it to CV this week, I think. There's been a couple days that I wake up and I have this thing in my head, and it's a negative thought, and it literally says to me, you don't have to work out today. Like you just did, so much. You haven't taken a day off in 13 weeks. You got a really good streak going in terms of the Peloton thing. Great, blah, blah, blah. So what I've been doing to combat that, I figured I'd explain it a little bit. So when I sit there in my, you know what, and I'm debating like, wow, how am I gonna get up? I literally stare in this mirror because I have a mirror right at the end of my bed, kind of like off to the side.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it and there's this thing in my head and it's like, yo, go back to sleep. So when that happens, I still take the action because I know as soon as I get up, it's going to get easier and easier. But I've taken it now a step further in terms of my mental toughness. So I'm trying to explain how I utilize mental toughness to push me past these moments.
Okay.
Right. So, like,
how often do you have that moment?
Honestly, not that often, but I feel like lately it's been, it's been happening more often than I'd like it to. But not, I mean, maybe once a week. You know, on a day that I'm like feeling like extra tired.
And it's usually a night. Does it land when you stay up late?
Not even. I don't know. But you know what it is though? It's a positive thought that's going through my head. I mean, a positive like, I guess a positive thought, but it's negative because it's like you've done so much.
Yeah,
you deserve to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. And
well, we put a bug in your room, and I've just been whispering while you're asleep.
Yeah, like go to sleep.
Go back to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Snooze.
But so what I did the other day is I said, you are so privileged right now. No, seriously. Like you just.
Do you say it out loud?
Yes. I'm looking in the mirror, and so as I get in the bathroom.
Like,
no, she's knocked out. But I'm like, you know what? You're complaining. And meanwhile, all you have to do is go downstairs and put that work in. So you know what you're going to do today? You're going to bike 50 miles. So I literally stared at a black screen for 163 straight minutes and biked 50 miles to make sure that I never allow that little thought that happens to take control, because I know that my actions control my thoughts, right? And I always say it, but your thoughts are going to happen. Like those negative times are just going to keep happening over and over and over again. But that was a specific moment that just happened. I said, wow, you know what? Let me include that in the Podbot update, because I do things like that. And I know that if I just take one small action and I look in that mirror and then I get up and I grab my water, I say my gratitude piece, that the negative just goes away.
Here's my theory on the looking at the black screen. So when you look at a black screen, there's a reflection in it.
Yeah.
So in theory, you were staring at yourself for 50 miles.
For 50 miles.
50 miles.
Dude, it was a long
That in itself,
ride.
just if you said, Mike, you have to sit on a Peloton, don't even have to pedal, and just stare at yourself for 50 minutes, I don't know if I could do it.
Not 50 minutes,
Or
163
miles.
Yeah,
So
163 minutes.
2 hours?
2 hours and 43 minutes.
What is that? 2 hours and 43 minutes. I think over under.
I think I'd
get. Yeah, you should have. You should watch movies while you're on there so you can update. I don't think I passed.
Dude, it was
30 minutes.
But so that was an extreme level. But I said.
But I like that though, because you feel yourself getting a little complacent.
Right, and then I
know you don't like
changed
that
the
word.
game.
And then you not punish yourself, but challenge yourself.
Right.
To do something above and beyond what you already
And then
do.
ironically, every single I had a bunch of meetings lined up that day. Just ironically, crushed every single meeting I went into. And I don't think that that's irony. Like, I believe that.
Like you went into, sorry, I have this visual of you going into a meeting and it's like just a 5-minute catch up and you come in and you're just like, and that is why we need to fill the bathrooms up every day with toilet paper.
Oh my God, yeah. But essentially that's what it is. I mean, not in terms of.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what your job entails, but.
No, but.
Those meetings.
I have to go into these meetings and I have to make things happen. So if I don't have my own confidence, so what it did was it gave me my confidence back. The last 2 minutes, I will not lie, I had to call my wife. I said, babe, I think my legs are gonna like give out right now. Like they're gonna pull. Like everything feels like it's gonna pull. And she's like,
what's
your
wrong
daughter's father is not soft.
No, really?
I swear to God. And I said, you're right, take me home. And I just continued my journey, man.
One day that Peloton's gonna come off and you're just gonna right into the wall.
And the amount of sweat is absurd. But
I
love it, man. So
actually, that's something I want to ask you about.
What?
Where does it all go?
The sweat?
Yeah.
Well, so you have a mat underneath.
I was thinking about the other day.
Yeah, you have a mat underneath the bike, and then I bring towels, and I wipe it up, and then I have to spray it.
Okay.
With towels, and then you lift the mat up and get underneath it just so it doesn't soak on the floor.
So they have what they're called drip pans for utilities.
But
You've
even
seen
like
those, right?
like grills, you have a drip
Yeah,
pan.
drip pan. You need a Peloton drip pan.
With a No Snooze logo on it.
There you go.
Done deal.
Pelly
There you go.
drip pan.
Pelly drip.
That's gross.
Right? It's
And then
tough.
you can filter it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my little mental toughness story for the week.
I'm excited to hear that you have those thoughts because I have it every day.
I have it every day.
I sit up every morning. I'm like, what am I doing?
Why am I doing this?
Less now, for sure. Now the routine of getting up at 4:45 is no problem.
Yep.
The getting up is less of a problem now. It's making sure that when I get up and get downstairs, I start fast enough.
Yes.
Because how we do it, we try to post right away.
Mm-hmm.
And some days I need to collect my thoughts. My balance is off.
Right,
Like
before
I don't know
you-
what's going on. You're
Yep.
discombobulated. And then that might run to like 5:05.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I don't really get going until 5:30, it's a whole different ballgame. Now with the home office downstairs, I'm
Looks
doing
great, by
this.
the way. Love the
Thank
progress.
you. Appreciate it. My epiphany with that was I need to get it good enough where it doesn't leak. And then as I'm in it, I can get all my stuff in there. I can keep upgrading, but
Right.
I need to get everything in there so that the rest of the house is clean.
Yep.
Which that was the big thing last week, that we got it to the point where it wasn't leaking and all of my stuff is down there. So now all my setup I can walk away from, and when I have lunch or go to dinner upstairs, I can kind of decompress a little better.
Beautiful.
Whereas before it was like you see the deal that you're working on
Yep.
because your whiteboard's over there and you're like, oh yeah, I got to call that guy tomorrow. You just keep thinking about it.
Right.
So that's been good. This has been the first week where I've been doing the majority of my push-ups down there. It's a great setup.
Feel good?
I have a question for you.
What's up?
If you're on a mat that
Mm-hmm.
has give, in theory, those are harder, right?
I like it. I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to stabilize a
Yep.
little more. So I'm finding that it's been much harder in the basement doing it.
Getting them done.
Well, not getting them done, just the actual
and
act
and
of
the
the
actual
push-up.
rep is a little different.
And my wrists are more sore because of the stabilization factor.
When I do them, I always try to switch up, but I have this, like I just always tell myself, push through the palms, push through the palms.
Yeah, you try to line
Yeah,
it.
because it keeps you, it keeps your wrists kind of in line. But that, when my wrists really start to hurt, I go on my fists, on my knuckles.
Okay.
And it hurts even more. But then when you go back to the palms, they feel easier. So it's like it's like a mind
Mental
game.
thing.
Yeah.
One of the things that I found too is that the first set every morning, rough.
Tough.
You like when you do that first set, you don't think you can do another 10.
Yep.
And then it gets gradually a little better.
Well, that's
your muscles
That's
loosen
why I
up.
started with 210s. Like even in the gym, as soon as I got to the gym,
Yeah.
the first thing I was doing was 210 push-ups.
Yeah.
So that mentally was like the hardest part of my workout, and I'm like, well, if I can get through this, then I can just keep going through the rest of my workout.
The thing that I think, it's not holding me back, but it makes me do them a lot slower, is that I am commenting and doing
Yep.
everything in between
between
as I
them?
do it, because the morning from 5 to 7, 5 to 8-ish is all no snooze stuff.
Yep.
And if there's stuff that I need to knock out for early appointments,
Yep.
I'll incorporate the real estate stuff early too.
Right.
So sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, listen, I need to put all the comments and everything away and just bang out 100 because I need to at least get this much done.
Yep.
I haven't been able to do 1,000 before 7 yet. So it's like 500, 600, 700, 800, depending.
But
and then at night,
progress
during
though.
yeah.
And if you really wanted to, like gun to your head tomorrow, you could do 1,000 before 7. You know
yes,
what I'm
but
saying?
realistically, with everything else going on, it just I'm
It's
being
tough.
smarter about it.
And absolutely, and that's what it's about. It's how can we still get everything else done, make sure that we're still good and taking the time that we need for our morning routines.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it like that, it's much smarter.
And I've only been doing like 10 a set, or not a set,
Set.
because the scale up to 1,000.
Yep.
Lot bigger jump from 800 to 1,000
Oh, yeah.
versus 400 to 600.
Right.
It's
Yep.
big.
Well, that's like a peak too. Like there's something to be said. Your body's not even really warmed up until you're like 300 push-ups in. So going from 3 to
Sure.
5, 4 to 6, but at 800 you're already taxed.
Yeah.
Then you got to add that extra 200. But
Yeah.
you look good. Your chest is booming.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful. So I might need you to de-stress me for a little bit. This might be our last, my last episode before I'm a dad.
Which
Right?
is crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So the Prego update, Karina is now 38 weeks, right? Dana's going on 37. By the time this comes out, the baby's my daughter might already be here because we're 1 week behind. But so we just got word that it's very likely that the baby will be coming next week. Now that just it's crazy, right? But when I think about, and it's funny because we like to contradict ourselves a lot here. So you know how I was saying like, and I was even talking to Frank and he was like, yeah, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. I'm as ready as I can be. I think I've changed my verbiage. And I'm going to say that I am as prepared as I can be, but not ready, if that makes sense. Like the preparation,
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like I'm so prepared for it, but I'm not ready because you don't know.
Because you're never really ready.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what you're
right,
ready
but
for.
last episode I was like, I'm as ready as I can be.
Yeah.
But I think I'm changing my verbiage.
It's funny, I don't know who said it, but someone said the more yes you throw in is the less, like the more you're lying. So like.
The more you're like, oh yeah.
So if you yeah, someone like, oh, have you been this place? Yeah. You've never been there. So it's funny when you say yeah.
Speaking of a place, I was in your hood last night, and I went to J House.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Very nice. You went to the
I saw-
outdoor?
Yes, outdoor. I saw Tony.
What do they call it?
Tony's J House.
Yeah, but what do they call it? The garden.
Oh yes, the garden. Right. Beautiful place.
Great vibes.
Tremendous food. Everything was phenomenal. So the owner Tony,
Best.
right? He comes around and he does his trivia games with everybody. This is how I know I'm supposed to be a girl dad.
Oh no.
Because he starts asking all these trivia movie-based questions. I'm sitting there stone-faced, don't know anything. Everyone at the table is like putting all the answers out. He's like, you don't know anything. I'm like, nah, it's not my thing. A couple more questions go by. He says, name 2 of the 4 plastics in the movie Mean Girls. I said, Gretchen Wiener, Regina George. It was the only one that I knew out of any of these trivias. And everyone looked at me like, did you just answer that question?
Yeah.
So #girl dad all day.
Funny that he asked that too.
Yeah, he's a trivia whiz.
No.
Even better, the bill comes over. Literally,
Nice,
I put
probably a nice bill.
nice bill.
Do you look right?
What?
Did you look right?
I was looking to the right the whole night. You know. So I get there, CV. We split the bill, put the credit cards in. I say, hey man, Mike sent me.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God. I said, told Mike,
I haven't done anything there.
Mike sent me here. And he goes, what is that?
You should have recorded it.
I did. I have it for you. I did. And I said, oh, Mike sent me. He said it at the end of the videos. Tell him Mike sent him. Mike sent you. So told him Mike sent me.
That's awesome.
So I was expecting like a dessert or something to come out.
He'd charge you double?
Yeah, right. No, the funniest thing though, one of the guys was like, I know Mike. And I'm like,
they
yeah,
just
that's,
went with it.
Yeah, that's
dude.
my guy. Yeah.
There was a guy that sent me to the J House because he said he knew Tony, right?
Okay.
And I've been there before and I've met him.
Yeah.
He's done the trivia when he used to work at Gabriel's, which is now the Townhouse. But this guy sent me and I'm like, oh, your buddy, whatever his name is, I forget what his name was, sent me here. Like I said it and he's like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, oh, that guy? And like, it was a negative.
Oh,
so you got to be careful who you throw around.
Gotta be careful. No.
J-House, I haven't done it yet, though.
So look, that's
gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's
gonna be a really.
But you
good
got to
one.
do it there because he's such a character.
Oh, he's awesome. He really
That is the job, and I'll say it to the public, that I've been telling my brother-in-law, Chris Salvo,
He needs.
since I started dating Dana, I said, you should be a maitre d' at a upscale restaurant because their job, yes, they do more than that, but their job is to make sure you're having a good time.
Yep.
And just make people laugh and be nice.
Goes a long way.
It's amazing. He's best job.
Absolutely. Give us a little update on Dana. How's your wife feeling?
She's feeling good. She has some cravings this week. Pasta. We did a Tell Mike Sent You episode at Pasta Vera.
Ooh.
Homemade pasta. We were just talking.
Videos are tremendous, by the way. I love them.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Shoreline Video, my guy Chris
They're
Jones.
Great.
They are. The nice thing now with the Pod Bod is that I'm on the offense. So you're able to be more lax with the diet because you have more calories you're pushing out, you're working harder, and you're able to enjoy a little more versus the restricted calorie diet, which is very tough. So when she says, let's have pasta vera tonight, I'm able to be flexible and get that in, but then make a deal with myself. If we eat this, I have to finish my push-ups right after.
Nice.
So you try to link them up.
I like it.
So she gets very full quickly. She
Yep.
gets frustrated that she can't eat more, which is kind of funny to watch because she gets mad at me because I'm
you're
like,
just pounding, right?
yeah. So I have to restrict myself not to finish hers because she'll have it in 2 meals.
But can you imagine having,
No.
At a time it was 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pound, like just extra that's moving around.
Yeah.
Like the babies are moving around crazy now, and it just looks bizarre. And I get
It's alien.
Yeah, I know, but I feel it. I've been telling you this. I always feel the same symptoms, man.
Every time you say that, I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm being dead serious, Mike. I swear.
You feel stuff in your stomach. moving
Yes. I have a weird connection to my daughter and my wife when she's been pregnant, and it's got to be a real thing because I feel it.
around. I don't think I feel anything.
I'm telling you.
That blows my mind. But
Yeah, right.
she's been good. I think we're prepared as we could be.
Right.
To an extent.
Yep.
Babysit when when in the car. Have you done that?
Yes,
I'm sure
yes.
you have. You probably did that months ago. Babysit when in the car. Tyler Stewart, my guy, set it up for me. I promised to bring him beers, but I forgot the beers.
I carried it like all crazy.
Oh yeah. It's awkward to like, but then it's pretty. The architects or engineers of this baby equipment,
Genius,
incredible.
Right? And how it just connects in the car is strange.
And you have to be pretty bulletproof,
Yes.
for lack of a better word. You have to be pretty bulletproof to develop this stuff because it's something goes awry,
Right.
you're in trouble
Yes.
because the baby. So it's a modern marvel, baby seats, the way it goes
Yeah,
in
oh,
and
yeah.
the
Modern marvel.
modern. You like that? Eighth wonder of the world.
Took me a second.
Back to Dana. She's doing great.
Good.
She asked me before I left the house today, be nice. Dana, that was
Okay.
pretty nice.
Love you, Dane.
Yes.
No Snooze recommendations. I am gonna go off of what you've been doing
Yeah.
in terms of chugging your egg whites or your eggs and your egg beaters.
So I've been.
Right.
What do you think? Do you think egg beaters is better
I
for
think-
what I'm doing
I mean,
now?
I don't think it hurts you, and I don't think it helps you dramatically. If that makes sense.
It's just
You're
it's
getting
another
more,
way.
You're
yeah.
getting more protein
Yeah.
in for sure. So I have a shake that is only 4 ingredients, but it disguises the egg whites.
See, I don't mind the taste.
Yeah, but some normal people. You talk about me being a Neanderthal. You're sitting there chugging eggs.
Tastes like milk.
It tastes like ugh. But the consistency, I don't know.
Do you like
So,
eggnog?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
do.
it's same thing.
I get it. But I have a 4 ingredient shake. It's super simple. It's 2 cups of egg whites, frozen strawberries, a banana, and peanut butter.
Too much effort for
No,
me
no,
in
no.
the morning.
But CV could tell you, right? This is somebody you wouldn't say that you would, I guess, drink egg whites on the regular, right? But the shake is
What
pretty
if he
good.
responded like, "Yeah, man, I have it every meal."
Right? Yeah, I just drink it. So we'll call that egg reg,
Egg reg.
Yeah,
Or
a
just reg.
right? With the EGG, I like
Yeah,
that.
just the capital
But yeah,
EGG.
it's very simple. I'm into simple stuff that you just take some ingredients, put it together. Nutritional value is great. Get the potassium in the bananas. The peanut butter, some extra protein there, and then the strawberries to kick it off, make it taste good.
I like that.
You know?
See, it falls apart for me because then the blender gets dirty. Then
Yeah, but it's
you got
but
strawberries,
a
you
blender
got
is
bananas.
easier than anything to clean because you just pump some soap. This is what I do. I pump some soap, throw the water on, and I put it back on the blender.
Yeah,
So it's
but that's still
self-cleaning.
like another step. So like in
Yeah,
my head,
he
but
wants, like, that's
but in
why he
my head,
just
5
gotta
a.m. Grab carton, chug.
Yeah.
One step.
Yeah.
No
See, well,
cleanup.
this
right?
I don't think
CV
people
agrees
are,
with me.
I don't think people are drinking this at 5 a.m.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
This
Like
shake
later
would
in
be
the
like,
day.
yeah, or like for your breakfast, you know?
This is perfect for this episode because part of the reason I'm trying to simplify everything again is that I love cooking and I love doing stuff like that. But if I get into the shake mode, then all of a sudden I get carried away and I'm like, well, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
that, I'm gonna hit it in this bowl, and I
Yep.
get too carried away.
Right, okay.
And then that time eats up, and I'm like, what's
Why
the big
did
difference?
why
I should
did
just
do
chug
that?
the
That
egg.
makes sense. It does, but does
that make sense?
It does, but it's simple, and I'm not chugging eggs like that. Like me and Matt, my brother, used to do that. Like,
Chug eggs?
Yeah, like
well,
real
not
eggs.
like cracking them. This is like the soft version of Rocky.
Literally. Well, I used to put on Rocky Balboa
Prima donna Rocky.
and chug eggs, thinking that it was gonna like really help me out.
That I mean, obviously, I wasn't in that era, like when he was
Right.
like at that age. But apparently he like started the whole fitness craze, is what people say. Did you know that? As far as like fitness wasn't a thing before Rocky.
What?
Yeah, that's
Well,
no, and a broad scale.
Oh, okay.
Like the people like yourself who are a little farther into the game would have discovered Arnold, whereas the majority, the masses like myself, the everyman, the people's champion.
Well, in 1970, it was called the fitness boom. That was when there was like a crazy.
And when did Rocky come out?
Probably the late 70s, early 80s,
So there
I
you
guess.
go.
Yeah, so that probably added to the everyday person.
I'm regurgitating something I heard. I'm pretty sure it's accurate.
Yeah, no, I like it. But then there's all these bodybuilders that existed before that. But again, that's like you're saying that if you're
Jack LaLanne or whatever.
Yes,
with
if you're into that level of bodybuilding, that's probably who did it for you. But good point. What's your recce?
Egg beaters. Chug them in the morning. So my recommendation, I'm just gonna stick with YouTube because it's been so beneficial. There's a guy, Chris Voss. He was an FBI negotiator, and he his whole. I forget what maybe Mindhunters was based on him. I could be lying. TV show or a show on Netflix, but he would negotiate with hostage situations. Mm-hmm. You know, he was the guy where no one could figure out. They say, call this guy. So he does an interview with Lewis Howes, and it's on YouTube, just Chris Voss. Any of his stuff is incredible.
That's good.
Basically talks about how certain words trigger certain responses.
Okay.
And how to avoid words like why when you're negotiating. Because when I ask you why, naturally, your response is defensive.
Yes.
Because our whole lives growing up, people ask you why, and you're defending yourself, right? Why do I have to do that? Why are you going here? Why? So you get a defensive response. So
okay. That's probably big when you're negotiating. Right?
So every day I try to mix it up when I'm doing the push-ups too. Videos on negotiation, sales, just kind of everything. But negotiation is an interesting one because you can identify when someone's trying it on you.
Right.
Like I talked with people and I'm like, I know what they're doing, you know? And then if you know what they're doing, you can kind of play into it and kind of play dumb. Versus you talk to someone, you're like, oh, they don't know all these tricks. At some level, negotiations are motivation and your point of leverage, and the little tricks get you so far.
Yep.
But at some point, it's just, is it a good deal to be had? Can you make it a win-win situation?
Beautiful.
But I like the little tricks. So Chris Voss, check him out.
I like that.
And check out No Snooze Podcast too while you're on.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
We're growing.
I've heard of them. 26 straight Epis, baby. Come on. This episode is really geared, I guess, towards, I don't know if you want to say.
I feel like you're recording me.
The important.
Why? You have the phone angled right at me. I feel like you're trying to get me on camera or something.
The importance of saying no, and really the benefit, and I guess learning how to say no, which is something we're still trying to do. For me, it's much easier to say no on a business level. One, because I'm in a position where I'm kind of forced to say no sometimes, so that kind of makes it easy. But I really struggle more in my personal life, I see, with saying no to doing certain things. And I think it all comes back to, as human beings, the word no, me at least, I articulate it as like a rejection. Right, so it's like a negative thing. You always want to be a people pleaser.
No snooze.
Well, that's right. There you go. But I'm definitely a people pleaser when it comes to that. But I find it much harder in certain aspects of my life than others. So I just want to go back and forth and kind of discuss that. And again, this might be a personal therapy episode. I might know a guy that needs some advice.
Send me your bill.
Right?
The no is at a certain level. In everything, I think when kids come into play, you can not use them as an excuse, but you have another priority that gets thrown in.
Yep.
And then you're forced to rework your priorities, and then no just jumps in. I think it's perfect timing.
Yep. And I am trying to focus now on setting healthy boundaries and seeking that clarity that I always talk about.
Healthy boundaries as far as what?
So when I say yes to things, it's because I know I can do it,
Like what? Give me an example.
But
I
then
love a specific example.
So say at work, and I can think back to, this is when I had to really learn to say no at work. So my boss was coming with all these different projects, and I was consuming them, taking it in, and I love doing more work than everybody. It's in every aspect of my, and I enjoy it. Like, I actually seek to do that. But he was coming with all these different projects, and one day I remember going home, and I think it was like kind of like a breaking point for me, mentally and emotionally. And I sit down and I'm like, babe, I don't know if I can get all this done. And I don't want to be too specific about the exact projects that I'm doing, but just different tasks at work that are given to me by my boss.
Did you feel overwhelmed?
Yes. So look, I know that when I break them down individually, and this is what really got me into the whole scheduling, everything in my life because of the scenario that happened. So I'm sitting down basically having like a mental breakdown in front of my wife. Like, look at all of this stuff, and I wrote it down, every single thing that I was asked to do with the timeline of when I needed it done by. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy because I know if I break it all up individually, of course I can get this done. But there's no way that I can get all this done. So she's like, well, one, why did you say yes? Right? And I'm like, well, how do you tell your boss no?
That's a good point.
And she literally was like this. There's no way that you can't go back to your boss, show him exactly what you're doing, and that there's just no time on the table. So sure enough, and this was I'm making light of the situation, but I'm in there freaking out. Super stressed, like.
How do you get overwhelmed? Like, paint the picture for me.
How do I get overwhelmed?
Like, I know how I am.
Well, so I literally had this list, and I'm reading down this whole list, and I'm cursing, and I'm going nuts, and it's just so.
Do you like pace?
I get irrational. Yeah, I walk around. I'm irrational. She
argue about stupid stuff.
Yeah, but this was strict. She gets a kick out of it, and I'm like, don't laugh at me. This isn't the time to laugh. Yeah. She's like, how can I not laugh?
That's a trigger for me too.
Laughing.
Oh,
of course, it's tough. But so then
Makes me more mad.
As I went back and had the conversation with my boss, and it's an uncomfortable conversation you got to just be willing to have, I guess. But he was so okay with, one, getting me the help that I needed.
Yeah.
And two, she was so spot on that it's so simple. All you have to do is start saying no to not be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But it needs to you need to be able to prove that.
Yeah.
And which I was able to do, because once he saw a list of every single thing that I was doing, he was like, whoa, man, like, I apologize for giving you all that. Let's break that up.
Yeah.
So that's something, that's a time that I remember in business especially. That's why I keep my list. Because I'm like, and this has been a tip, and I think people can apply this too. Before you respond to something, literally check your schedule. Mm-hmm. So if you keep, and this doesn't work if you don't keep an accurate schedule, but before I have a project on my table, I know before I say yes to that project, it has to work with my schedule. Because if it doesn't work, then the answer is no.
Yeah.
It's not even like, hey, yeah, I'd love to help you out. It's direct, it's assertive, not negative, but it's no because, I could show you why it's no.
Yeah.
So that's something that has helped me tremendously. And honestly, I don't even get back to people on tasks that they ask me to do until I check my schedule.
That's good. The scheduling, the point about being organized too, it's like at a certain level you need to get more organized to get more done.
Right.
Because if you're more organized, you're more efficient.
Yep.
And you're more aware of not taking on projects because it's in the schedule and stuff.
Yep.
For me, the hard part is that there's no defined timeline on everything.
On everything, yep.
So it's like you could take on projects, and I'm like, yeah, I could knock this out if I sell it in a week. But if I have to go there for a year, probably can't do it.
Okay.
So what I've had to do is be like, all right, well, if I have an opportunity out of my market, how much time is it going to take for me to get up and back? Is the property vacant? If the property is vacant, it makes it a little easier as far as showings. So there's this like checklist that I can go down, and if too many of those aren't beneficial, then I can't take it. But instead of saying no, I say no as far as me being the agent. I'm starting to establish my referral network.
Yes.
So just like you did delegate,
Yep.
but now it's delegating to someone that can service the person, so I'm not burning the bridge.
Right. You're giving a solution.
But also giving an expectation.
I've been thinking of you too, because I always think, and when I was thinking of this episode, it's like there's so many versions of no. Like you always say, on the podcast, look, I get told no 95%.
Yeah.
And you're okay with hearing no.
Yeah.
So as individuals, and what I've been using, like, don't feel so bad about offending somebody on no.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? People expect it, and then honestly, they respect it if it's a no. At least they know the answer. So it's not like they have to agree with it per se.
Yeah.
But if you can't do something, it's very important, especially in a time like this when we're about to have kids, to be able to really say no and not beat around the bush.
Yeah, I feel like you have to communicate it too. You
Yes.
have to say, no, listen, so for me now, my conversation is, no, I can't take that on. I'm focusing locally because I'm so busy. So, I want to connect you with someone that can actually take the time, and me not being able to get up there, I don't want it to discourage your sale. So you explain why.
Exactly.
So they don't feel like you're kind of
Yep.
just saying no because you don't want to do it.
I like it. And now also in business, I've seen that once I know my value and I have all of this on my plate, saying no becomes part of it, right? And it almost makes you more sought out when you genuinely say no because you're involved in a lot of projects in terms of business.
It's like you're playing hard to get.
Yeah, but you better
Unintentionally.
yeah.
Yeah.
really be hard to get.
Yeah,
if that
unintentionally.
makes any
Yeah.
sense. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I've just found that whole process very, very interesting, but it's hard to apply it to my personal life. I used to have this crazy problem, I think I've said it on here before, about the FOMO, the fear of missing out,
Yeah.
right? I used to always, like if people invited me, I had to go, I gotta go. Whereas now, I started taking advantage of opportunities that I can say no, but it's been hard, right? It's been really, really hard. But the only way to get good at it is to start practicing the action, right? So if I get invited to 4 different places at one night, 2 places at one night, you can't do it.
No.
But now what I've also been conscious of.
4 places one night, huh? Popular guy.
Or in a week, you know what I
No,
mean?
I know
Like
what
it's
you're
just too
saying,
much,
yeah.
too much leisure. You can't do it all.
We got to make reg rules for yourself.
That's right. But I have been now conscious of saying no to the things that don't benefit the bigger picture.
They're not aligned.
Right. Like hanging out with family is, of course, that aligns all the time. But am I going to go to my friend's house and kind of relax, or am I going to go to the club until 3, 4 with the boys?
Let's go to the club.
You know what I mean? Well, of course, let's go to the club. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas before, I'm like, whoa, I got to do both. I'm going to my family's, then I'm going to the club.
Yeah.
But then when you start practicing that action, like anything else that we kind of talk about, it does get a little easier, but it's super hard still.
Yeah, the balancing. So you probably feel, because you work hard, you feel guilty of missing out on something social.
Right.
Because you're like, well, I deserve to go
I
to
should
that.
go.
Yeah, I should go too because I missed this the other week because I was working. So I totally get this, especially weekends. I have a really hard time saying no for night events.
Yep.
Especially like some days I'm like, I'm shot. I don't know if I should go out, and then I'm working the next day. It hasn't gotten in the way, but my mind shift, which doesn't really work with the episode, is like say yes. It kind of does. Say yes to the social stuff and just make it happen. Mm-hmm. If that means you show up an hour late because you have to take a quick nap and or go shower and then go, but you're always going to regret not doing something because you're tired.
Yes.
From work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like
for sure.
just being there is 80% of it for certain events.
Yes.
The important ones, but you have to
Right.
figure out what's an important event.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and it comes down to, I guess, prioritizing and really seeing, what it is that you want. But also, I gotta, when I think about it, it's like, okay, what's your authentic self that you want to be?
Yeah.
So the things that aren't really aligning with your authentic self in business and your personal life, you gotta be able to weigh it out.
You know what the hard part is too? When you and your wife have a conversation about doing something,
Yep.
but she's impartial to it,
Okay.
and you're impartial to it. You're like, we could go,
Yep.
and we probably would have a good time, and you have to make that decision.
It's tough.
Because certain things it's terrible to say, care enough about to make the decision.
Yep.
Like pretty laid back with certain things. So if there's an event, I'm like, yeah, we can go.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if I want to go. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Then they don't make the decision, you have to make that decision. That's the hardest one.
That is tough. And the relationship is different too, because when you're in a relationship, now it's 2 circles of, your circles plus my circles. Oh, I'm not really too infatuated with this circle of yours, but I guess I'll go. So yeah, there's always that too. But then this is something that you apply. I apply it every day in fitness too.
Yep.
right? Like even in wellness, like you have to know when it's gonna be no. I'm not going to make the bad decision and eat that bad meal.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yep.
right? Like there's so many different versions of no.
Yeah.
But I know that as I get older, I have appreciation for the work that I put in over time. So I'm now conscious during the week, like when I always say when I'm working, I don't really need to be eating bad. So I say no, 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 and I'm disciplined in that moment to ultimately say yes in the end.
Well, I think you need to make rules for yourself in everything.
Right.
You know, I don't drink during the weekday, or I don't have this type of food, you know, before 6.
Right.
You know, start with small ones and then you add it and you kind of create your own guidelines, because the structure is important. You know, business-wise, personal-wise. You know, if Sunday Dana wants to go to dinner, I never say no because I'm tired, because I worked all day. Because
that's
I
something.
owe it to her.
Yeah, no.
So that's like
You can't say no to that.
You know what I mean? But like in the past, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I do work so much, like 7 days a week, I can't do it. And now it's, well, anytime we want to go out and I'm work all day, there's no excuse if it's something that's for Dana. You know, so there's certain things that you kind of rework.
Yes.
So that with kids on the way, it'll probably become, you know, I can't miss these events. I can afford to miss those. That for me, you know, it's great that I'm there for them, but it's more important I'm there for this part. You know, so it's kind of like, even more so now, especially like, so, and I'm talking for me, just like in what I'm thinking about, weekends are super important with the family. And if, depending on what type of projects or listings I'll take or business, that's going to directly take away from time with my child.
Right.
So now more than ever, you really look at like, do I want to work on this? And you really need to be able to pull the trigger on saying no and figuring out what to spend your time on, because you're directly taking, you know, obviously we have dogs, we have wives, but you think about like, oh, I wasn't there for this major event. So it's even more so now. I'm starting to really trying to hone in.
To take that even full circle now, with the lovely daughters coming into play, this is a lesson I'm excited to actually teach my daughter. No, right? Like you just can't have everything in life. And it's a different form of what we're talking about. But the earlier we can be conscious as parents on the behaviors that we're instilling into the children by our actions, the more successful they'll be in the long run.
Yeah.
Right. So saying no, and here's a perfect example. And I think I broke the jealousy behavior down for you, but there was.
What's that?
Well, I'm going to give you the scenario. No, I
you spoke write it down for me.
No. I broke it down. I spoke to CV because we were having this conversation about like parenting, and you know the scenario when one kid has a birthday, the other kid, brother or sister, super jealous about, you know, well, I want my presents, I want my gifts, so everybody at the first birthday always gives like the other kid, you know, it's like, here you go. And not that I might do this too, right? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about though? Like you go to,
yeah, I
like when you and Frank were younger, if Frank, if it was his birthday and you're a baby, you get jealous. So people say,
I'm
here,
sure.
Mikey,
I'm
you
sure
take
it
this
happened.
too.
I don't
Right,
remember, but
of course not. But something
I don't
like
remember
that.
anything before like the age of 5.
I thought you were gonna say like yesterday. But
No.
something like that, right? So instead of doing that, like people can give my daughter gifts if they want, and if she has a sibling, I get it, on not her birthday, but I'm going to take the time to consciously explain.
Like a birthday?
Do you feel this right now? Like this is very uncomfortable. No, seriously, this is the conversation. This is a very uncomfortable feeling, right? And she's probably like, yes, Daddy, I hate it. I want presents. I want presents. You can't have presents. Why can't I have presents? Well, this is what jealousy feels like. I get jealous all the time in life too.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know, like, so the more conscious we are of having these conversations and being able to teach no, you can't, but when it's your birthday, sweetheart, then other people might be jealous too. And it's their time to shine there, and it's not about the material thing. It's about just explaining the feelings. So if you can teach and I can instill what it feels like to hear no early and to be okay with saying no to people early, she's just going to be that much better off.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of where my head has been at in terms of this, you know, the stuff I read, I listen to, trying to prepare for having a child.
And I don't mean to laugh, but I always have visuals of the scene of
scene?
this happening,
Yeah. Are
and
you
like this
picturing
little
it?
cute girl being like, "I want this," and then
I'm
just
just
this
like-
monster guy over her. Be like,
No.
that's not. I'm like, "Who's Dave talking to?" I'm like, "Oh, that's his daughter."
This is his daughter. No, and I don't mean to sound like a savage if I do, but I think it's important to take the extra time to teach those types of lessons early.
Sometimes when I hang around you, I feel guilty that I'm not as well versed or thoughtful in that stage of having a kid. Like, I'm with everything very big picture.
Yep.
So in my head,
They're running around in the park.
well, no,
they're-
my thought is this, like along the same lines, but my thought is just like I want to instill, which you're basically doing, but instill kindness, you know, treating everyone the right way, being a good person, not being a brat, you know, basically everything I wasn't.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Basically everything I'm not.
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now.
I'm the type that it's like once she's here, we'll figure it out. And
Well, that's all we can do.
Yeah, and I kind of trust myself enough in the short time I've been on this earth that I've learned enough where I can at least tell her
The
or
right
point
thing.
in the right direction.
Of course,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. But now I'm trying to.
But you're very
take,
systematic
yes,
with it.
I'm trying to take it a step further to figure out. Okay, well, how can I do the best that I possibly can do
Yeah.
to assist the process of her going and doing whatever she wants?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if she wants to play with Barbie dolls or she wants to play with a soccer ball or a basketball. I don't care about any of that. But what I'm focused on is anything that you want to do in life, there's a process in life that I haven't learned until, you know, recently.
Yeah.
I would have been so much I would have been so much better off if I was able to grasp this stuff super young. And not that our parents didn't do that. I just don't think it was as systematic as I'm now applying this to my own life.
But
if that
part
makes
of
sense.
I think part of the magic too, though, is that we've been through so much that we learned. I feel like you have to learn on your own a lot of
Of
things,
course,
right?
but
Like,
that's
'cause
part of it,
You don't
yeah.
listen to parents,
Right.
They tell you the correct things. You go make the dumb mistake, then all of a sudden it sticks with you forever.
Right.
So my whole thought's like, if you don't allow them to make dumb mistakes, then they're just going to be kind of punched in the mouth once the real world hits.
Right.
I always hate that term, the real world, but
That's the truth.
It's interesting to think about. Like, yes, we probably, if someone in anything in life, you always say like, I wish I knew that then. But if you knew that then, you wouldn't be who you are now.
No, nah, but if I had the work ethic earlier, just in terms of my thought process, like my
But it
daughter
might
will
have-
fail.
But it might have been misdirected.
Right.
Like, you could have had that work ethic, but you might have put it into the wrong thing.
Right.
Right. So you can't do the what ifs.
Yep.
Part of my
course.
thing, which is kind of crappy, is I hate looking back. Love memories, love BSing with people, but like, it's over.
Right.
Let's go.
Yep. Yeah. No,
I'm
you're not-
very like,
Yep.
don't care.
And
type of
I
thing.
love that about you. But so
Which is a
I'm
downfall.
focused on letting my daughter know and sit in that uncomfortable feeling of what
Yeah,
failure
yeah.
feels like. Not
Yeah.
falling, because she's gonna obviously know what falling is too. But I'm talking failure. Like,
Yeah.
you really want to go after something, but then you completely quit and you stop.
Yeah.
That's failure to me.
Yeah.
So she will feel that, and she'll come home and she'll get a C and a D in class, and I'm not gonna beat her up for it. She's gonna, but I'm gonna have that extra level of conversation of, do you like this feeling?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's very conscious of what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be very conscious, and it sounds almost too simple.
Yeah, no.
You know, but it just makes a lot of sense in my brain.
Yeah.
And it seems like Karina's on board with it too. So she's like this in her own life. So I think it'll be a nice dynamic. But now that I'm getting, my words are lost because this will be next week. So
No,
I'm done. Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, I'll see you later. I'm going to put the car seat in.
See you later.
Yeah, it's now knowing that it's not all about you anymore. Like, our baby might be born on my birthday, and it's my 30th, which
Yep.
is fun. But I enjoy knowing that it's not about me anymore, because I've had a hell of a run on my birthdays.
I love when he says this.
I say it all the time.
No, but you say something that I love. That 30 years on this planet with myself is Way too long.
It's a long time. And I've really enjoyed celebrating my birthdays and with people, and it's always been fun.
I've enjoyed it too, bud.
But it's been interesting to think about, like, now it's not all about you anymore. Because I would consider myself, as far as time I spend on things, you know, obviously I spend a lot of time with Dana and she's a priority, but I'm pretty selfish otherwise.
We're all very selfish.
So
right
it's
now.
been, it's going to be interesting. I honestly don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know if I'm going to thrive. I think I'll be a good father, guessing. Just for the mere fact that I'm basically a child with some of my thoughts.
I think you're going to be a phenomenal father.
But it's interesting to think about, like, how I don't really know.
I know.
I don't know how my parenting style is going to be. I have no idea. I think I'm going to be a big pushover. Because with Petey, like, I'm a super big pushover.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to work on with him, like not feeding him all the time, which is different. It's a dog, obviously, but call him the baby. So it's interesting to think about. But the no, I never thought about the no when it relates to your children.
Right.
It's a good thought.
That's a good way to finish. We'll get into some questies.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Let's let them rip.
Yeah?
I wonder.
This
I didn't
one-
look at them today.
This one is
'cause I like being
right
hit
for you.
Blindside.
From Zach, your boy.
My guy Zach.
Yeah. Mike, what's been your biggest gain from doing the pushies?
I would say confidence. The confidence in the ability to put a goal out there that's a lot. Big jump. I know you're loving this. And achieving
Let this
it.
sink in. Do you hear this?
But not only that, but the day-to-day, like you say, where it's 7 a.m. and even not with 1,000,
Right.
but it's something that you marked off the list, and in your head you're like, wow, the amount of stuff I got done today, and throw the push-ups on top of it is pretty crazy. So it's the specific exercise of doing something, the same thing so many times in a row, and achieving a number that is
Almost
lot.
it seems unattainable.
Not-
right?
yeah,
no,
it's-
it does.
it's a lot, but it's not-
Mike, and I know I always say, yeah, you can attain anything. It seems like an unattainable number, but then when you attain it, you're like, holy smokes! Like, look what I was just able to do.
Well, the biggest thing too is that your your thought of breaking things down to smaller portions translates to the day of getting all of these tasks done. So just hyper-focusing on 3 at a time. That's what I've been doing lately, is like, all right, I have these 14 things to accomplish today, tasks. So let me knock out these 3. Let me knock out these 3, and just pulling 3 in at a time.
It's beautiful.
And then spacing it out. I have to say, having my space has been so good to lock in. I don't know why it is, but if you have one area where you can just sit and then you know it's go time, you put your AirPods on, you make a bunch of calls.
Just make it happen.
It's nice. No distractions. It's you hit the gut. But basically,
So
long story
confidence.
short, it's the confidence
Beautiful.
that's built from it.
I love it.
And not even physically, because I mean, I feel better and tighter,
You
but
look better,
it's
too.
the task knocking
Yeah,
that off.
Of course. Good. This one we got to keep anonymous because of the context of it. I don't know if they went public yet. What is your best advice for expecting parents?
Oh, I got what you're saying.
You want me to start with
I
that
have
one?
no idea. Yeah, you start with this.
Advice. So I think, and I don't know if I like the word advice, because if it fails, I'm sorry. But
Yeah, right.
But what's worked really well for me during this process is really simplifying the process and becoming educated on something I had no idea about. And I think most people go into parenting, like I'm still going in blind, I guess, because we don't know what it's like. But I just feel so much more prepared because I took the time to look at stupid videos, read silly books, listen to podcasts. Like that podcast that I sent you, School of Greatness, the one on parenting. Like just
that was Lewis Howes too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But just listening to that 1 hour and a half, Mike, you're gonna be so much more like focused on being conscious of. The episode is talking about conscious parenting.
Yeah.
And
we started to watch it.
I just love when I hear stuff that I'm talking about and I didn't even know that was there.
thing?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes me feel like, oh yeah, you're on the right track. So my personal advice would be pick something that you can do over the course of these 9 months, 8 months, 7, 6, even 5 months out. But take a portion of your day, and even if it's 10 minutes a day, just do a little bit of looking at videos for parenting or reading a specific book for parenting, that knowledge stacked over months and months and months, it's called the process. And that process is going to prepare you as best as possible.
It's a good one. I'll do a nice short and sweet one. Not that that needed anything to add it on. We had conversations constantly of like, what do we need to get done before the baby comes? And knocking out those projects each week was very fulfilling, and it gives you more confidence that you're ready, whatever the term we're using these days, you're prepared.
Right.
So, you know, talking through like when the baby comes, what's the new scenario and how do we make it as more as seamless as possible?
So like visualizing certain scenarios and then talking through them.
Well, talking through your partner, what is the reality after the baby comes?
I like that one.
And then figuring out how to adapt and prepare yourself for that.
That's
So
good.
you're not smacked in the face when they come. For example, my whole office is now the baby's room. So then where's the office going to be? Which forced all those conversations, organization.
Beautiful. Transformation Fitness on Instagram. Do you have a money goal in mind to be able to just chill or to keep grinding, but more flexibility and options?
Do you have a money goal in mind to just chill? So I don't have a money goal in mind to chill. I have a money goal in mind to
Do more. Well, I think that's what he's saying, or to keep grinding, but more flexibility and options.
Well, I wouldn't say grinding, to be more selective. So like my big picture, I could see me doing more deal making versus running around physically doing it, like more high level. There's 3 properties that are contiguous, negotiating with 3 different owners, putting a portfolio together to then flip to someone. Like,
and then also doing less work, but essentially gaining more.
well, the hope is like, logically with the real estate stuff, you move into an area where it's new developments or big building type stuff, where you have the listing for the entire development and you're selling 50 units, 40 units, and then just by doing that, you're able to scale faster.
Yep.
So, but for me, it's creating the assets that replace income that gets you to a certain level where you don't have to work, but you are doing it anyway because you enjoy it, and creating that flexibility to do anything, or not anything, but you know, if you want to fly down to Florida for the week, you have systems in place where you can do that,
you can do it.
and you're not restricted. So that's
like
kind of, but do you have like a number that you in your head do?
No, so
I kind of have a number.
I'm not gonna. I won't go.
But it's a cash flow number.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but we can't talk numbers crazy.
I mean,
but I'll relate it to No Snooze for us. Since you did the bigger picture, right? Since you did the bigger picture in business, I'll do like your passion project that ultimately turns into your small business and revenue generating business. So the goal was to start doing things that I'm already doing. Like this is what I was thinking about when I'm putting this together. Go ahead.
Document versus.
Yeah, versus create. Right.
And documenting.
100%. Like you're already doing this stuff. So why not take an opportunity, see where it goes, document a whole bunch of the process, and then eventually what happens and this is just a personal thing, I believe when you chase a passion versus chasing the dollar, I chased the dollar for a really long time, even though I'm young. But that was what I was about, chasing the dollar. And I'm still, we always say it, money guys, I get it. But I don't chase No Snooze to specifically get to money. Money and opportunities happen to just be falling in place as we chase our passion. So the only advice I would add to that is like, go chase something that you're already doing, you're passionate about. People are trying to search for this stuff. It's always right in front of you.
Yeah.
Do the things
you
that
gotta try a lot of stuff because some people don't know what they're passionate about.
Right, but you have to try. Yeah, you have to be a scientist. Right, I know a guy that said that. Right.
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
He said,
like,
"Did I
what?
say that?" No. But you just have to chase that passion, stick with that process, and then the ultimate goal of flexibility will come.
Yep. I mean, you said it well. The way I look at it too is that I made a mindset shift of like, it's a number, a money number, to money's a tool, and the people that have the best flexibility in life, not so much the best bank accounts, but they created the best lifestyle for them and their family, are the people that are able to leverage money to free time up. So it's all about figuring out where you can put money in to free time. So and that's like at each level, you make the decision of reinvesting in your lifestyle and doing things, for example, cutting the grass, right? Yes, you can cut the grass, and if you love cutting your grass, do it. I don't like it.
Me neither.
So what'd you do?
I pay a guy to do it.
Correct. So you pay a guy to do it, but then in your head, you're like, all right, I'm paying a guy to do it. So now I have to go generate, in the time, the 2 hours he cuts the grass, or she, whoever it is, I need to go out and replace that, with income or whatever it is. So it's, but I really enjoy the game of money. Like, I enjoy trying to figure it out and figuring out how to generate more of it and make it continue to compound. And like, I love assets. I love thinking through, like, all right, this house forever is going to be kicking off this much a month for us. So it's play the long game too.
Yes.
That's my advice.
It's tough though. It's tough.
It's so hard.
You know that. It's so hard. But the earlier you grasp that, the more successful you will be in the long run.
And lifestyle, when you figure out, like, get crystal clear on what lifestyle you want to have. Because then it gets easier to say no to things because you have that North Star, which I've said before. Like, I know I want to end up in Greenwich with my family. So when I was offered to go do a bunch of stuff up the line for someone, which I won't get into specifics, it was just a listing opportunity, it didn't make sense. Because I'm like, that would be great. I probably do very well, but I don't want to be there ultimately. I want to be here. So it's a fun game.
Beautiful. Your favorite section. Would you rather? Yeah. Would you rather always stink and not know it, or always smell something that stinks that no one else smells?
Selfishly, I would rather be the one that stinks. And my name's perfect, Smelly Pirelli.
So you're just gonna walk around stinking?
I guess,
or you're just
right?
gonna smell something terrible?
You always flip me.
For your whole life that nobody else can smell.
Yeah, you'd have to adjust your business and do everything virtually.
I can't walk around stinking. That's like a fear.
I guess I would have to.
I try to go CV got him again.
I try to go the road less traveled with these. Try to play devil's advocate.
All right. Would you? This is going to tell us a lot, right here, CV. So take close notes on this one. Would you rather be framed for a murder you didn't commit, or frame your best friend for a murder you committed? In a time like this when we're having kids too.
I'd have to go with the friend.
Oh my God.
You're getting framed, bud.
Yo, dude. I couldn't do that. I swear, I would have to try to fight my way. I couldn't do that.
I think now you have the ability to try to, like, make a Netflix special to get out of jail.
Yeah.
So you probably could take the bullet initially, but, like, imagine going to jail now.
I know, it's terrible.
Right before the baby.
Terrible.
Might be worth the friend. Be like, listen, I'll take care of you once you get out.
Hold me down.
Yeah. You would tell him, be like, listen, I'm going to frame you.
I love
I will work my tail off, so when you get out, I got you. Would you agree to that, maybe?
Yeah, I think I would. Depending on how long. I might do that for you.
No way. Dude.
I don't know.
No way.
All right, last one here. Would you rather get the hiccups every time you laugh, or fart out loud every time you sneeze? Just automatic though, like you have no control. So you get the hiccups every time you laugh.
I don't sneeze that much.
Or if you sneeze, but it's loud though. Like you're in a business meeting, sneeze, and then a loud
When's
fart.
the last time you sneezed in a business meeting?
I have allergies, bro. So
really?
Yeah.
I would go with the latter because I don't really sneeze much.
You're not. I don't know.
Like, not in public. I don't sneeze in public.
Now be conscious of it, and then every time you sneeze,
because you know why? Because when I sneeze, like, I have a schnoz. Like, this is like, when I sneeze, it's a sneeze.
It's a sneeze?
Yeah.
All right, so now you're going to sneeze and you're going to fart at the same time.
Yeah,
That's tough.
I would go with that.
You go with that?
I laugh all the time.
I don't know. I'm pretty stone-faced.
I'm always laughing.
You make me laugh, but I'm stone-faced.
Is something on my face? Is that why?
This is my favorite section. Dave's Dime of the Week.
Of course it's your favorite section. You sat in a Peloton, stared at yourself for 2 hours.
You forgot the dimes.
Because I'm so enthralled by your third person talking. Dave's Dimes of the Week. Dimes.
Thank you. It's only by saying no that you can concentrate on the things that are really important. Steve Jobs.
Can I have you say mine because you say it with such vigor?
No, do it with the do what you did last time.
All right, I'll try to do it nice.
That was good.
So Miguelito's mantras.
Ito.
Little Michael, that is. It is not a daily increase. It is not a daily. It's still there. We're not littering. It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away the essentials. Oh no. Keep that. That's a good one.
There we go.
It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away the inessentials. Is that even a word? Bruce Lee. Lee.
You're it's such a good quote. Let me read it.
Yeah, exactly. What did I say?
All right.
I'm not an inspirational quote reader.
All right, here we go.
That's not my strength.
It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away the inessentials. Bruce Lee. Very well done.
Did you know he was a child actor as well?
I like that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then he got some audition because I didn't really watch it. I saw a little bit of it.
Wow.
So he got an audition and he under-promised, over-deliver because they didn't know he was an actor, like forever.
Wow.
So when he came in, he was very animated, got the gig.
Can we, are we all set up here for Mike's Heat on the Feet?
These are repeat tacos. Tacosaurus.
Oh, bring it over. Bring it over. I got some loaves.
Yeah,
we'll show the loaves.
Those are nice.
So these, I also believe, should be in every man's closet. A good pair of drivers that you can throw on with jeans.
Versatile.
I don't go socks because I baby powder the feet, right after the shower.
So it dries.
Yeah, so it
keeps
it nice and dry. But yeah, it's a nice little.
Don't you get a? What are they called?
I need a poll done. Can I do this or can I not do this?
No, you're too big.
Can I do this or not?
No, you're too big.
No? Is this a no?
That's a skinny.
Is this a no?
That's a skinny guy look.
Is this a no? This is a big no, huh?
You remind me of the guy
no?
at Brendan Schaub.
Hard
Because he's
no?
like a big dude and he wears stuff like that. I don't think I can pull it off.
That was fun. Until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and do your push-ups.
My man. 26 in the books, baby.
That's another Epi in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze. Come on.